Also tonight, the women's short program featuring European champion Surya Bonaly. It's a strong field, and she'll get a challenge from China's Chen.
Welcome to CBC Sports coverage of the 1995 World Figure Skating Championships. Now from Birmingham, England, here is your host, Brian Williams.
Well, it's a rather pleasant Friday evening, about 8 degrees Celsius here as we look from the outside at the main arena. The National Exhibition Center here, about 20 kilometers from downtown Birmingham, England. We move inside. Let's pull down. You see that light, south end of the arena. That is our host broadcast location for these World Championships. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to England. Day 4 in our competition. Tonight, the ladies program begins. Most of the attention on Surya Bonaly from France, the European champion. Remember, last year in Japan, she at first refused to accept the silver medal. She is in tough against the American champion, Nicole Bobek. Canada represented by 18-year-old Jennifer Robinson from Windsor, Ontario. In case you missed it earlier, the Canadian champion, Nettie Kim from Willowdale, Ontario, failing to qualify earlier this week.
Thanks, Brian. Good evening, everybody. The women have a tough act to follow after what we saw last night. And as Brian alluded to, Surya Bonaly set the tone for this women's competition last year in Markova. What can we expect from her?
Well, certainly Surya Bonaly is the favorite of this field. She's the technician of the group, and she's probably the most consistent skater, but we can't count out China's Chen. She's already beat Surya once this year in competition. She's the more elegant, graceful skater. If she skates well, I think that she can beat Surya. But Paul, if mistakes are made here today, there's about 8 or 10 young skaters that are ready to catch up to them.
Well, Barb, you've basically given the gold and silver away. I agree with you on your call on that one. But the question is, who's going to be third in this competition? We've got a group of youthful young women who've all got extraordinary talent. Slutskaya, Bobek, Kwan, Shevchenko, they all have got the goods that they need to get on the podium. The question will be, who's going to deliver in this competition?
And Canada has one competitor. That's Jennifer Robinson. Interesting draw for her. She will skate between Chen of China and Nicole Bobek of the United States. Brian?
All right, Chris, the skaters are on the ice. Here's the menu. Ladies short program, the free dance final. We will talk with Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz. And again, the world champion, Elvis Stojko, will take us through his long program. Chris, if you got the headset on, I think we're all ready to go with the first skater.
Thanks, Brian. Here is the favorite. Surya Bonaly, 21 years of age, from France, silver medalist the last 2 years at the World Championships. She won her 5th European title in Dortmund last month, but this is the gold medal that has eluded her, and she wants so desperately.
Well, last year she felt she deserved the gold medal. She considered retiring, but she's back, and that is why she's back. She wants the gold.
There's been much discussion after her reluctance to get up on the podium last year at the World Championships, whether it be any sort of backlash from the judges panel, but I don't believe that's going to happen. I think they're going to judge exactly what they see out here tonight.
It's a huge amount of pressure on her here. And as always, the combination will tell it all. She's opening with the triple Lutz double toe combination. Normally a very good jump for her. Oh, a hand down. That's unusual for her.
Not a big deduction, it's just a 0.1. Here's the double axel. died in terms of speed. It's one of the things as a skater you've got to try and do is maintain your speed throughout the spin.
We saw at the Europeans.
But in essence, Barb, I think a better performance. Although she touched down on the Lutz combination, she didn't have any difficulty with the triple flip, which she did at Europeans. And she truly is one of, if not the best technician in the field.
Here's that triple Lutz. You see the free leg is wild, and she just has to touch down to keep her balance and get up for the second jump.
Triple flip. She really gets her arms into the jump to help her get up into the air to get the hang time she needs to complete it.
Trains in Lake Arrowhead, California, along with Born and Kratz, Kovarkova, Novotny, Michelle Kwan, who we will see, but went back to Pralognan in France to train after the European Championships.
Well, she's skating very early in the event. So she's just going to have to wait and see how the others skate to see if she's going to be up there in the top group.
Well, the first set of marks would indicate that, although there are a couple of interesting ones. Great Britain at 5.2, 5.4 from Slovakia.
5.6, 5.6, 5.4. Marks, please, presentation.
And the presentation marks, all 9 judges here early in the women's short program have her in top spot. So Surya Bonaly in quest for that elusive gold medal, off to a pretty good start.
Here in the women's short program, like the men in pairs, there are 8 required elements. The elements of greatest risk are the jump combination, where we'll be looking for triple-double, as well as the double or triple jump. That's new for the women, to be allowed to attempt the second triple jump. But if any of them want to be in that final group in the quest for medals, they'll have to execute all 8 elements cleanly.
Next is Michelle Kwan.
United States already with medals here in the pairs competition and the men's, and here's a medal hope. Michelle Kwan, the silver medalist at the U.S. Nationals. She made her world debut last year in Japan and finished 8th.
Well, last year at the Worlds, she was thrown right into a media frenzy after the whole Tanya Harding affair, and I think it was a little bit much for her at such a young age. This year, there's a lot less talk about her. Actually, her teammate, Nicole Bobek, is taking most of the heat for her. She's opening with the triple Lutz combination. Very well done, but you can see she doesn't carry much flow out of her jumps. Executed that double axel. Michelle always wants to open this program with the double axel, but her coach Frank Carroll insisted that she get the most difficult element in the program out of the way first. Thus, she has done the Lutz toe combination, then the double axel. And she still has a very difficult triple flip planned later on. Spiral.
hearing. If this doesn't place ahead of Bonaly, people will say, why? Barb, you made an excellent point of how much speed she doesn't carry out of her jump, especially in the combination, and yet Bonaly touches down with one hand in hers.
Well, she has the American fans in an uproar here. Michelle Kwan, 14 years of age.
Here's the triple Lutz combination. She seems to get good height, but you can see she jumps straight up. She doesn't carry any distance through the second jump.
And yet this triple flip did carry more speed and more flow in and out of it.
Marks, please, for Michelle Kwan for required elements. 5.5.
Technical marks, the range, 5.4 the low mark from Slovakia, 5.8 the high from Austria.
5.8, 5.7.
She's pulled some very good marks here, though.
5.4.
Now the presentation marks. How will these compare with Surya Bonaly?
And there you go, a 5-4 split.
Yep, the 5.9, the high mark from Austria. 4 first place marks, 5 seconds. The American crowd not happy, but Michelle Kwan definitely a medal contender, and we'll be back with more of the 1995 World Figure Skating Championships. There's Kwan's partners, Eldridge and Davis, looking on after this. Welcome back to Birmingham. Before we get to Lu Chen, Canada's Jennifer Robinson, and Nicole Bobek of the United States, here's Jean Senft in the judges' seat.
As we watch the ladies' short program tonight, 3 of the 8 required elements are spins. Spins are equally as important as jumps and footwork, although they don't seem to get as much attention. However, one of the questions often asked is, why don't skaters get dizzy when they spin, or do they? Several years ago, tests were conducted by NASA to try and answer this question. They discovered that dizziness occurs in an untrained skater if the pupils of the eyes gyrate back and forth to catch objects within their view. Trained skaters, however, don't get dizzy because their eyes don't gyrate back and forth. Instead, they remain in a stabilized position, focusing in essence on space, almost as if in a daydream. By contrast, ballet dancers make a point of focusing on an object as they rotate. This technique is called spotting. With each revolution, they center themselves by focusing on a particular spot. Dancers turn their head at the very last minute to do so. Why don't skaters spot? The answer is simple. They spin too quickly to focus on anything. At best, they're able to see only a blurred constant. Ronnie Robertson, one of the greatest spinners of all time, used to close his eyes and was known to burst blood vessels, he rotated so quickly. Robertson claimed when his body was aligned properly and centered, he felt calm spinning at his fastest. Here we watch Lucinda Roux of Switzerland taking spinning to a fine art. She is perfectly centered, rotating around an axis in the most beautiful of layback positions. While triple jumps can elicit oohs and ahs from the audience, they're over so quickly. Spins, on the other hand, can elicit a prolonged response, especially if performed at the end of a programming climax to the music. Judges will credit well-performed spins because both technically and artistically, they're effective in balancing a program.
Here's the European silver medalist, Olga Markova of Russia.
Well, she had a great short program at the European Championships, had herself positioned very nicely to perhaps win that competition, but then things came undone in the long program for her.
She's generally quite a consistent short program skater. She's opening with the triple Lutz combination. Very well done.
Strong position in that camel.
Second triple, the triple loop. final jump requirement, the double axel. A very solid skate for Olga. Look at that extension, it's beautiful. I think where we're seeing the difference in Olga's skating this year is in her artistry. She's really paying a lot more attention to the choreography of the program.
And it's evident not only in this short program, but her long program is also got a very new and different look to it.
Her final combination spin, very strong. Well, this should hold up very well with the best of them.
Well, Barb, I've got this as the best skate of the evening so far. Bonaly had a touchdown with her hand. Kwan was a little slow, a little tight in her combination. This one clearly, I think, was the strongest skate to this point.
Olga Markova from St. Petersburg, Russia.
The Lutz combination, she gets great height. Solid landing, resets, gets that left arm in front on the landing of the Lutz to be in a position to get up into the double toe.
And here's the loop. Nice tight air position. She's a little bit wide on the landing there. But overall, just a great skate.
Marks, please, for Olga Markova.
Olga's 21 years of age. She was the silver medalist at the Russian Championships. Both her and Irina Slutskaya beat out Maria Butrskaya for the World Championship spots at the Europeans. And the first set of marks, 5.4 up to 5.8, including that high mark from the Canadian judge, Jack Greenwood. And now the presentation marks, a 5.9 from Russia, and she has 7 first-place ordinals, 2nd from Britain, and 3rd from Austria, but Olga Markova is the leader as she moves ahead of Bonaly and Kwan. So quickly, let's recap. Markova the leader, Bonaly is 2nd, then Michelle Kwan of the United States, and here is Chen, bronze medalist at the World Championships in Prague and Oakland, also bronze in Lillehammer, but she was forced to withdraw last year in Makahari prior to the short program because of injury. Here she had to qualify, and she's been battling a bout of the flu, so bad luck the last couple of years. Let's see how she skates.
Well, with a clean skate here, she can easily slip into first place. In the past, she had always been a very consistent skater, but with the pressure of being among the leaders, she has had problems recently with the consistency of her jumps. In particular, the triple Lutz, which she's skating into now. And she does it a little wide with the free leg.
Connecting step, setting up her next jump, triple toe.
Which, very well done, but is less on the difficulty scale than that of Surya Bonaly or Michelle Kwan. The 2 difficult jumps in, she just has a double axel left. And Paul, I remember at one World Championships when she nailed the triples and went into the double axel and did a huge, what we call waxel. So let's hope that she can get it in.
There's such a contrast in conversations here at these World Championships as to which one anyone, be it the spectators or the judges, prefers.
I prefer this style. Very elegant, very charming.
Very well skated.
18-year-old Lu Chen of China and her coach Li Mingzhu is delighted. And we will have her marks momentarily. And Jennifer Robinson is on the ice. She'll skate next when we return to Birmingham. Well, no sign of the sickness that plagued her earlier this week. A fine skate for Lu Chen of China.
Here's her triple Lutz combination, and a true triple Lutz, and then it takes off the outside edge, but there's a sign of a skater in control, showing enough patience to let the body readjust to get into position to do the second part of the combination, the double toe.
Well, she beat Bonaly at NHK, the major international event held each year in Japan. And the marks come up 5.4 from the British judge, the low mark, the Chinese judge at 5.8.
Well, technically, on a difficulty scale, she did not perform the most difficult jumps. These marks may come up.
And there are the presentation marks. 2 first-place ordinals from Japan and China, seconds, thirds, and 2 fourths. One from Jack Greenwood of Canada. So Lu Chen is now in second. She's ahead of Bonaly, but behind Markova. Nicole Bobek is awaiting her turn, but before we get to the U.S. champion, the only skater in the field from Canada, 18 years of age, Jennifer Robinson. There's Mom Louise, anxiously awaiting this skate. Jennifer said that she really wasn't expecting a world berth this year, and now all of a sudden she's the only Canadian here left in the competition.
Well, I think to put her expectations into perspective, it's important to point out that this young lady was last year our junior ladies champion, her first year at the world level, and she has a lot of weight riding on her shoulders, as we always like to see a Canadian finish in the top 10, and for her that is a big, big challenge. After watching her qualify, I'm sure she gained a lot of confidence from watching her training mate Elvis Stoico compete last night, and that he did not hold back at all, and she seems to have taken that same approach here, which she did not do in the qualifying round.
Well, there was a really nervous moment when we didn't even know if she would qualify for this event. She didn't have a good skate, and I said to her afterwards, are you breathing a little easier now that you made it? And she said, well, I'm breathing.
Double combination, a very well skated program. Yes, certainly she's going to be disappointed with herself for having missed that, but I think she'll feel a lot more confidence going into the long program, having skated more solid than what she did in the qualifying.
Well, there's Mom. She liked what she saw. A lot more sparkle here for Jennifer Robinson in her short program than we saw in the qualifying. And we'll have her marks when we come back to Birmingham.
Mr. Golding and
Barry and Windsor.
Hi, Barry.
Well, she said she could have had it. It was a silly mistake. Let's find out how much it hurts her. Technical marks from 4.5 up to 5.3 from the British judge, who obviously liked what she saw.
4.7 to 4.5. Marks, please, for presentation.
And now the presentation marks for the Windsor native, up to a 5.5. The British judge has her in 4th position, but there are 20 first-place ordinals on the board. That's about as wide a range as you'll see, and Jennifer Robinson's in 20th spot.
Next to skate, Nicole Bobek from the United States.
Well, in the wake of Tanya Harding, British tabloids have crowned Nicole Bobek the new bad girl of skating, but despite all the headlines this week, the new U.S. champion has really gone about her business. She won her qualifying, has really stayed low profile and done a good job, and figures to be in the hunt for a medal here.
Well, last year she didn't even make it into the final, so I'm sure that was a real learning experience for her, because she's been extremely focused here in spite of the media frenzy. And if she nails this program, I think she can be in the top 3.
Well, she's going to attempt a program with a fairly high level of difficulty, as she will also be attempting the triple Lutz combination.
Very well done.
Perhaps the finest executed Lutz combination we've seen out here. She came in with great speed and carried it right throughout.
Great speed on her spins as well. And she has absolutely beautiful spirals. Great flexibility. Look at that.
Connecting steps into her triple toe. And I just love the way she carries speed in and out of her jumps.
Well, she's done all the required jumps, and now you see her turn it on. Look at that smile. Technically, the toe is not as difficult as the flip, which is the one that Markova and Bonaly both performed. But I think this was the performance of the day.
She sure likes it, and so does this partisan American crowd. There is Richard Callahan, coach for Nicole Bobek and Todd Eldridge, and he has harnessed this talent and made Nicole Bobek a medal challenger here at the World Championships.
Barb, it certainly was a great skate, but here's a look at the triple Lutz combination. It appears she takes off on an inside edge, but she had it positioned in the rink in such a way that I don't think the judges are going to see it. But there was no doubt about this jump. Textbook triple toe. Everything works in unison. She takes it up. Nice clean landing. Great flow out.
Marks, please, for Nicole Bobek for 5
Well, this sets up a very interesting scenario. What happens to Surya Bonaly? Will she get knocked out of the top 3 here as the first set of marks? And they're up to a 5.9 from the Chinese judge.
5.7, 5.5.
Given the performance, I think the other set will be higher.
And now the presentation marks, and look at the 5.9s from Italy, China, Canada, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. 6 first-place ordinals. She's got a second, a third, and a fifth, but Nicole Bobek has taken the lead. Surya Bonaly's fourth. So Nicole Bobek of the United States is the leader after the women's short program, ahead of Olga Markova of Russia and Chen of China. A bit of a surprise, Surya Bonaly in 4th place, so she'll need some help to win the gold medal. Michelle Kwan makes it 2 for the U.S. In the top 5, as far as Canada's Jennifer Robinson, she's in 22nd place. Now let's join Brian Williams with the leader.
All right, Chris, here is the leader indeed, Nicole Bobek from the United States. With all the off-ice distractions, cheap shots you faced in the British press here, how were you able to overcome that and focus here tonight?
I just basically blocked it all out. I thought about my program, I thought about what I had to do out there, and none of it seemed to disturb me at all or distract me in any way, and I went out there and proved to everyone that I could get over this.
Now, you were emotional. You were crying after Todd Eldredge skated last night, yet you went out there tonight, and after that triple toe, you looked like you were having a good time.
Oh, I was. After the triple toe, it was just this huge release. I mean, it was just, I did my work, and now it's time to have fun, and that's what I did after the triple toe. I was so excited, and I knew that I had it.
Nicole, good luck in the long program tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
That is Nicole Bobek, who leads after the women's short program here in England. Up next, we will talk with Elvis Stojko, the defending world champion. Will take us through his program from last night. CBC's coverage of the 1995 World Figure Skating Championships